Hey guys, it's Tuesday, and I have absolutely no idea what I want to talk about. So today is April 12th. Sorry, I've been trying to come up with ideas, but I just have no idea what to blog about. And I promised you guys that I wouldn't talk about sports for a while, because that's what 3 out of my past 4 videos have been about. Completely forgot that today was the 50th anniversary of the first manned orbit. Mostly because, I mean, we aren't really taught about the Russian space program, so especially in school when you learn about Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon and we walked on the moon before the decade was out, just like JFK said. And you kind of forget that with the exception being for walking on the moon, Russia had beat us in pretty much everything else. It's kind of like a revisionist history. The winners get to revise the history and say what happened, whether or not it's actually true. I mean, if you want an example of that, all you have to do is look at World War One. World War One was started because Gavrilo Princip shot the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. That caused World War One, and so most people, if you look at the facts, you would go, "Oh, well, it's obviously Serbia's fault for the war then, because they shot the Austrian leader." I mean, and even if you wanted to look a little bit further, you could say, well, if Russia hadn't declared war on Austria, then there never would have been that chain reaction that led to all of Europe being in a massive world war. So you could blame Russia for it. Or you could choose to blame Germany, who decided to be allies with the countries that were nicest to them. Who ended up getting blamed for the war in the end because, well, they were closest to winning, and the USA and France and the UK all want to make sure that they didn't look bad in the deal. So, so then Germany has to pay back every country's war debts to them, which led to a massive Great Depression across Europe and across America, and it inevitably leads to the start of World War II because Germany kind of goes batshit crazy on everybody else because they're tired of being stepped on for almost winning a war. It just always bugged me because every time I talk to somebody about World War One, which admittedly is rare, but it's often enough that this has become annoying to me. I cannot stand when they say, well, it was obviously Germany's fault for the war. But the problem is that if it takes one person, if it takes one country changing their allies to cause a giant chain reaction, then it's not their fault. It's a flawed system. It was made to fail.
Windows 7. It's a PC. It's life-changing. Sort of.
The heck was that? I'm like running around trying to figure out which one did that. How was that? It just always annoys me how the winners of something get to revise the history of it, and how when you actually look at the facts, you're like, wait a second, none of this makes sense. If we ever do like a an education week, I'm going to do it about World War One, 100%. I have to, because nobody knows anything about World War One. Katie, you actually just tweeted me about how you just lost at basketball. And I'm going to use that as a reason to quickly talk about sports, but not really, just because one of the things that I saw while I was watching a baseball game was a commercial with two of my favorite comedic actors, John Krasinski and Alec Baldwin. They did they did this commercial for New Era, which makes the baseball caps for most of I think for all the teams actually. Yeah, I think they actually make the official baseball caps for Major League Baseball. And I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna put it in a link in the doobly doo so you can watch it. And it's, oh my god. Oh man, because it points to the arguments that Yankees fans make towards Red Sox fans and Red Sox fans make towards Yankee fans. And again, about the revisionist history, when you talk to a Yankees fan, they talk about how they've dominated the the rivalry and that there isn't really a rivalry between the two. And then when you bring up the fact that in the past 10 years we've won more World Series titles than they have, and they just kind of ignore it. They push it to the side and they go, well, "We won 26. No, no, don't worry about that. Just ignore the past 10 years. Don't worry about it." But if you talk to any Red Sox fan about the Yankee rivalry, they'll tell you about how the Yankees suck, even though the Yankees have pretty much won relentlessly over the past 100 years. So, so it's always really really interesting to look at that and see how people revise the history and make it just so like biased. So I'm I'm gonna go. I will see you guys later. And can't wait to see everybody's video this week. And Rory, I will see you tomorrow.